You've been lied to. And the voice repeating that lie, it's coming from inside your own head. For most of my life, I believed that I had to carry everything alone, that asking for help meant weakness, that struggling meant that I wasn't good enough. It took me years to realize that those weren't my beliefs at all, actually. They were stories that I'd inherited. And I'd been letting them run my life without even knowing it. What I discovered changed everything about how I show up as a father. It's just after 7 a.m. My son's alarm has been buzzing for a while now. Like most mornings, he doesn't even budge. So I head upstairs, I push open his door and I whisper his name. A few gentle pats on the back, a rub on his head maybe, and slowly he stirs to life. And when he finally opens his eyes and sees me, he lights up. "Dada's here," he says. I smile. "Yeah, buddy, I'm here." I lift him out of the crib and I set him on the floor. And he does what he always does. Runs straight over to turn that alarm off himself. Then he reaches his hand up to me, ready to walk down the stairs. He can do it now, technically. He's been walking for years. His legs are strong, but those stairs are steep. And he still stumbles from time to time. So I hold his hand every morning. And I tell him each time, "I've got you. I am not going to let you fall." And here's the thing, I could still be carrying him. He's small enough. And there was a time in my life when I would have, not just because he needed it, but because I needed it. I wanted to be the one who did everything. I thought that strength meant shouldering it all myself, never asking, never leaning, always carrying, I'm the ox. But now, I know better. See, strength isn't carrying him down those stairs at this point. Strength is walking beside him, letting him lead, letting him stumble, letting him grow, while still being there when he reaches out for my hand. That's the story that I had to rewrite. Because for years, I had this voice in my head telling me what strength looked like, It said, real men don't ask for help. It said if you're struggling, you're not trying hard enough. It said vulnerability is weakness. And I believed it. For decades, I believed it. Until one day, I realized something. That voice, it isn't mine. It's my father's, and his father's before him. A story passed down through generations, like some kind of inheritance that we never asked for. I think about the men in my family, good men, hard-working men, but men who carry everything in silence, who believe that struggling alone is noble, that the weight on their shoulders is proof of their worth. And I see now, that isn't strength, that's fear. Fear of being seen as less than, fear of being judged, fear of not measuring up to some invisible standard that nobody ever actually defined. And watching my son reach for my hand that morning, I realized that I have a choice. I can pass that story down to him, let him inherit that same lie, let him grow up believing he has to carry everything himself. Or I can rewrite it. So how do you actually change that voice? How do you stop letting the lie run the show? The next time you hear that doubt start to creep in, that quiet whisper telling you you're not ready or not good enough, or that you should be able to handle this on your own, don't argue with it. Just notice it. That voice is not the truth. It's a story, one you've probably heard so many times you stopped realizing that it was even optional. So here's what I want you to do. Flip the perspective. Imagine someone you love, your child, your best friend, maybe even a younger version of yourself, saying that very thing out loud. I'm not smart enough. I'll never figure this out. I should be able to do this alone. What would you say to them? Would you agree with them? Would you pile it on? Would you tell them that they're right to doubt themselves? Of course not. You'd say, that's not true. You're learning, you're growing. It's okay to ask for help. So say it now. Write it down if you need to. That's your new narrator. And here's the practice. Say those words to yourself 10 times out loud. First thing in the morning, last thing before bed, or whenever that critic shows up. You're not just reciting words. You're rewriting the voice in your head. Because here's what I've learned. That voice will keep repeating the same story until you consciously choose a different one. You have to actively replace it. Not once, not in a moment of inspiration. Every day, every time it tries to take over. Until the new story becomes as automatic as the old one used to be. So now, every morning when my son reaches for my hand on those stairs, I don't think about carrying him. I think about walking beside him. And I tell myself the same thing that I tell him. I've got you. You're not gonna fall. Not because I'm doing everything for him, but because I'm choosing to be present, to let him grow, to let him stumble, while still being there when he needs me. And I know someday very soon, he won't be reaching for my hand anymore. Someday, he'll walk down those stairs on his own, and then he'll run, and then he'll be out of the door, into a world where I can't always be there to steady him. But that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? My job isn't to carry him forever. It's to teach him that it's okay to reach for help when he needs it. That there's strength in admitting when the stairs are too steep. So that when I'm not there, he'll know that he doesn't have to face everything alone. And that's the story that I'm writing now. Not the one about the man who has to carry everything by himself, but the one about the father who shows his son that it's okay to reach out for someone's hand. That asking for help is not weakness. That's the real strength, actually. That voice in your head, it doesn't get the final word. You do. You don't have to carry everything alone. You don't have to keep repeating a story that was never truly yours to begin with. There's an exit. So here's what I want you to try. Just say this to yourself out loud. I choose a better narrator. And if that felt strange or unfamiliar, say it again. Let it echo, let it settle in. You're not just speaking it, you're inviting it in. And I'd love to know, what's one belief you've been carrying that maybe isn't even yours? What story are you ready to rewrite yourself? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're worried about what stories your kids might inherit from you, about what they're learning just by watching how you handle those hard moments when doubt creeps in, well, I had another moment with my son recently that showed me exactly what every son needs to hear from his father. And it'll change everything about how you connect with your kids. It's right over here when you're ready. Thanks for watching.